to Black Panther. And you know what songs we're gonna let you go ahead and talk about? You saw Black Panther, please.
You go ahead.
Yeah,
so
right.
I personally loved Black Panther. I thought it was a fantastic film. We're not gonna get into spoilers or anything for people who haven't seen it. So and Dan. So we're not gonna get into spoilers, but it is a superb film. I think.
My question to you, per the film, we have a strong influx of passion towards our African brethren,
right?
Due to this movie,
right?
Okay. I have a strong opinion about this. I'm going to ask you about your opinion, and I'm going to ask everyone if they agree with your opinion, and then we'll move on from there. So, what is your opinion of people coming to the opening night with the
shikis and stuff like that? So, I think it's a very interesting thing. I think
also churches buying stuff out to go see this.
I think it's. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's wonderful because like it's a movement in itself that we've seen in other movies, but I think the problem is that like Black people haven't necessarily had this type of feeling towards a certain movie before. So it's like, like think about it. When motherfuckers go see Star Wars, you see them niggas cosplay as Yoda and Darth Vader and all that shit. That's pretty much what Black people are doing for Black Panther.
Why you crying?
Like, I was, like, right. But is that not true? Like I remember Winter Soldier came out. I saw. Because I used to work in a movie theater, and I saw a girl who came with
like you used to work at a movie theater, but that's not.
Me and Chris used to work at a movie theater.
We did.
You worked at a movie theater?
Yeah, I was the man. We got Matt got me the job at the movie theater.
I was the manager there.
Yeah.
Hey, we used to watch free movies.
Respect. You just got you got respect.
I didn't pay for a movie for like how many years?
Like 4 years. Jordan didn't pay for.
Jordan, why didn't you know me back then?
IRS.
Yeah. but anyway, but like. I saw a girl there who like had a metal arm on for like the Winter Soldier. Like that's what Black people are doing. We just showing up in our African stuff because it's like we have an African superhero.
And I hate when people say we shouldn't get it. Well, like why are we had Blade. Blade was the last Blade came out in 2004. We have 3 different Peter Parkers since then, and we can't get him.
Roy, do you agree with them?
Yes, with like caveats. All right, so, no, you're not gonna turn from me.
Oh, you say yes. Oh, you got caveats.
He had caveats.
I would say this. I think yes, exactly for all the reasons they say. But my only reservations is that I think I'm not in the mic. My bad. I feel like a lot of times those who wear don't really know what they're wearing. There's a culture behind what you're wearing.
Oh yeah.
So like the kente cloth is specific to like West African and specifically Ghana, and it's more for special occasions. So I mean, even though Black Panther is a movie, I mean you can make the argument, it's a very special occasion because there aren't very many movies like this. So I mean, in that regards, I'm not upset, but it's not one of those things where like, oh, just wear whatever African garb you have because it's African.
I'm gonna come back to you on that.
Kente cloth doesn't mean anything to me.
I'm gonna come back to you on that one.
That's an extremely valid point that I had not thought of at all.
Jordan,
So,
do you agree?
Yes.
Daniel White, how do you feel about this?
So we're arguing about people wearing African culture clothing?
No.
Dan!
So here's my argument to that, and that is mainly Roy's thing. So the thing that irritated me was one, living with Roy, like Roy's Kenyan, living with Roy, I really come to understand, especially one of my best friends, Shay, he's Nigerian. I come to understand that Americans are very, very simple and closed-minded about how Africa is. So like the fact that we even say African attire is such a wide range. Like, do you know how many countries are in Africa? And so people like every time people see African, oh, that's a dashiki. Like everything's not a dashiki. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's not a dashiki. And then on top of that, we're talking about Wakanda. Wakanda is not a fucking place. And then but you can't show me where Ghana is on the map though. But you're this hyped to go see this movie about black stuff. And then everybody's like, oh, black power, pro black this. And it's like, oh, so many black people in this thing. It's like, we've done this before. these things have happened before, and I know it's probably getting a little bumped because it's because Black Panther's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I could appreciate that and understand that it's a dope movie, so like everybody's excited to see it. But I feel like black people did too much with this one, just because it's like, I mean, I don't even have a problem with people dressing up to go and see and stuff, but it's just churches are selling stuff out. We're doing this, and then the message of like it's a Marvel movie. Like, yeah, you can delve into it and see like, oh, means this and this means that. But it's a Marvel movie. It's a movie about a comic book character.
Yes, it's a Marvel movie, but I think you're missing like just how important it is. Like, you don't get to see this type of stuff in media too often. Like let's put it like this. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, there were so many black TV shows. You had Martin, you had the Fresh Prince. In early 2000s, you had Half and Half. You had Malcolm and Eddie in the 90s. That's So Raven. Like, you had people on TV who were black people. Like, how many black shows are out right now? Like, Black-ish, I think, is the
only show. Like,
right, I was like, everything else is like on. You have to like go to BET or TV One to watch black shows.
I'm not watching reality TV, by the way.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I don't even want to count VH1 because like the black people on there, you're like, oh my god, like damn.
I think that comes to a certain kind of black person what they watch. So I'll name this for you. I watch Atlanta. I watch Blackish. I watch Power.
I love Power.
Everybody loves Power.
There's a new spin-off of Blackish where his daughter actually goes to college.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. It starts with an R.
Yeah, you got that one. What else? It's a couple more. What else am I watching? I'm watching Power. I remember we used to watch.
What's the superhero one?
Hold on, wait. But to that point, some of the stuff you're mentioning, you have to have like cable. You have to have like extended stuff. Like Power's on Stars. Like
Fire Stick. Fire Stick. If you care about the culture, Fire Stick. Fire Stick.
All right, real quick. Let me make a point real quick. Going back to what Justin said. I think the excitement, me personally, the reason I was excited about it is I completely understand where Roy's coming from. By the way, that makes perfect sense.
That was a great.
That was my biggest thing.
Yeah. But just, I think the excitement level, why people are trying to be extra, is just because this is the first time that you really see someone back, like for example, an all-black cast and a black director and all that. They put $200 million on this. When have you seen anyone put $200 million on black?
Blade was low budget.
On an all-black cast and all black. And I'm just saying, like,
costume
some people
designers,
don't.
Everything.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see the significance to that, but that just shows that Hollywood at least is taking steps to make some sort of improvement on what they've had before. I think that's really impressive. I mean, it's a superhero movie, but you're not going for that stereotypical trope black actor. Like, I'm not gonna be a drug dealer or blah blah blah. Like, this is a hero. This is something for kids to look up to. Cool.
Everything y'all hate me with, I'm gonna give you a little rebuttal back. I ain't gonna get too much into it, but with that, what you're saying with that one, my thing is they're putting so much money into it because they're putting so much money into the Marvel universe.
No, I agree.
Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it has nothing to do with the fact that it is an all black cast and that it's doing something different. But I do want to say it's going back to that 60-40 thing. I want to say it's more like 70-75 that this is a Marvel movie that's going to pump out a lot of money, and 25% that this is a pro-black thing.
But it's also a solo movie though. Like, if you notice, I don't think they put as much money into like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. They put a lot into the second one though.
Yep.
So it's like I think people, they understood, like, it's, and think about the significance. We're having a comic book company this is an all-black movie, all-black cast, costume designers, sound producers, all that. But who else is doing it?
My rebuttal back to that one is that Black Panther is the latter of the Marvel movies, and they've been more established where they're able to do that.
Real quick rebuttal. I'm sorry. To that point is, the thing is even if it is a money grab, like you're saying, and it's kind of already an established thing, the thing is, to me, it opens up so many doors. Like
Yes.
that's where I think the significance is.
Because it
You
is
can
successful.
get
We
so
just
many.
wanna change
That means that
Black people just
you
wanna
can
change.
be so like people are. If this is successful and this makes them a lot of money, that means Hollywood now realizes you can make movies about other people's cultures and keep it culturally sound, and people will show out for it. I'm so like. I'm not trying to cause like a stir, but I'm so tired of seeing something about like Egypt or something like that and just seeing like a whole bunch of white people. It's not that white people weren't in Egypt, it's just that I just see it as
It's just that they weren't in Egypt.
no. They actually were.
No, yeah,
there was
but I
actually,
get what you're
but
saying, though. Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like it's not a significant thing. There was a movie about some people in Hawaii, and it was a whole white cast, and there are white people.
I'll give you that.
And that, but even in the book, it was based off Hawaiian.
Gods of Egypt.
You
I'll
can,
give you
you
that.
can,
Gods of Egypt was.
you can.
How do you have
that.
you have
I'm
Gerard?
sorry,
Yeah.
you can get. I'm
Which
just
y'all
saying.
have.
I'm getting a point.
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
getting a point.
It's a good point, and what you're saying, I got you. What you're saying is 100% correct. I agree with that. But what I will say is your point is a sub point. It's not the main. It's
It's
not
not
the main
less
idea.
important. It's just
It's a sub
it's attached
idea.
to
Yeah.
something else. Like
It's-
you
it's-
have
yeah.
this, and then it's
and served as one.
I mean, in all actuality, though,
Dan.
I mean, of course they made the movie to make money. Like that's what Marvel is.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the point of the movie. It's like you're gonna make a
But
lot
I
of
don't
money
think,
off of it.
I don't
It's
think
an-
black people are like, oh, this is gonna open up things. I think they're just doing it because other black people doing it.
You know what?
But
No, I think there are so many. I think there are people like I totally disagree with that.
No, I'm not
because
saying
I
all.
think-
No, I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. I'm just the guy that gets irritated when I see the few.
when you see what I'm
When
saying.
I see the few.
Hey, bro, you got to let that slide.
Also,
Right.
and I'll give you this. I'm while in terms of how they go to the movie theater, I'm with you guys. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Partly because I mean I was born in Kenya. I've been here since I was little, and I've had to see like I understand to a certain degree that most people don't know a lot, and so like in order to keep from getting frustrated all the time, I just accept that hey, at least they're showing their support in the way they know.
They're trying.
Yeah. We're trying. We're just really excited.
Exactly. I know Justin. I know he's a lot more self-aware than a lot of people, and he's a lot more, and he understands these things, and he's seeing them, and he's like, you guys are doing it, and Justin is trying to see how much of it is a fad. How much is it? Oh, you guys are just showing out because Black Panther, and you feel empowered, not because you actually care.
It's like
You know
it
what I'm
really
saying?
it really feels like
that,
a fad
It's
to
that
me.
fine line, and he's like, do you guys actually care? Is this something you guys are actually doing, or is it just more like Facebook activism in the real life? I'm gonna go watch.
Well, I was
gonna
gonna see
quick.
Black
You know
Panther
what, that's-
regardless.
Yeah, I feel you,
Gonna see that
and
regardless.
that's why like I don't think Justin is wrong. Even when he's talking about the budget and the timing of the movie. I don't know when they announced Black Panther. I think they announced Black
announced it,
Panther
like, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it
even
was a
3 to
while.
be honest.
Yeah, it was
with
a
you.
while. I was
They
hyped.
they showed their timeline, and I specifically watched. If you look at the MCU timeline leading up to the latest Avenger, Black Panther is the very last hero to be presented before the Avengers in May. We've had 3 Iron Man movies. We've had 3 Thor movies. We've had another rebooted Spider-Man. You know, like it was put at the very end. At the end of the day, I just watched it. It was great. It was everything I wanted. So I'm not mad that it was made. But when I first saw the timeline, I was like, dang man, how are they gonna put Black Panther at the end? You know, it could be strategic.
And
it could be all of
releasing it
that.
in February too?
Exactly. You know,
Like
I
History
mean,
Month?
I was cool with that. I wanted that.
But it's all
that.
strategic.
Like,
We do know it's strategic
yeah.
in some ways.
And so
yeah.
like I understand. Like I definitely agree. I think people should be able to do whatever, go whatever, because that's the thing. You know, if you're getting mad at them just because you think they're doing too much in and of itself, I think you're wrong, because people do too much in all movies. If you're getting mad at them because you don't think they actually care, that's very valid. But at the same time, I don't want to pretend that Marvel is necessarily doing something completely revolutionary, because it's all a science, it's all a system. And the release of it, in terms of their scheduling with all the other movies, was very apparent. The first time I saw it, I was really upset, because I'm like, how are you gonna make 3 whole other movies before you finally get to this? Same thing on Netflix. They made, I think, is it 2, maybe 3 seasons of Daredevil, and then they had another season of something else scheduled
doing that
before.
shot- they're doing that shot
They're gonna
guy
come
now.
out with season 3 of Daredevil before they have a second season of Luke Cage. They're gonna have a second season of Alias before they have a second season of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So slight. I would say a slight defense of them is just the fact that like some of those things have already been established and people have waited a long time for some of the maybe not necessarily Daredevil, but like Jessica Jones. People have waited a long time for the second season of Jessica Jones, so it would make sense that came out before Luke Cage. And I would say, and when going back to some of the other stuff that we were like some of the other Marvel movies, I don't think it had been established whether or not Black Panther was going to be in the Marvel universe at the time, because at the time we didn't know what was going to be Phase 3 and stuff like that. I understand but I do understand what you're saying, where it's like you put him at the back, because he got introduced in Civil War, and that was in 2016, and we're in 2018, and that's the movie. But again, it seemed like it was kind of like a short notice thing, but at the same time, they're still establishing people, because remember, Miss Marvel she's getting her own movie after Avengers, so she's still coming. Yeah. So it's like I do understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's as much as like I don't think it's as big of a thing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say it's necessarily one way or the other. Yeah. I'm trying to say that everything Justin is saying is valid, because
there's awareness out there.
You can look at everything, the scheduling, the budgeting, and all of that, and you can make as equally strong an argument of no, they don't really care that much, they're going for the money, and you can make as equally a statement, because the movie's out now, we've all seen how good it is, and we've all seen the steam at. They don't reference the Avengers, they don't reference Captain America, they don't reference Thor, none of that. Like,
do not.
The only, like, honestly, like, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you, but like the only really white people who get seen and named are Claw and the CIA agent. That's it. That's literally it. Those are
a little special at the end.
Yeah, the cameo at the end. But like those are the only white people outside of your random background people who are in the movie, and that's not a problem. It's cool, and that's why you can make an equal argument. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Justin's right, but I'm still with you guys on the.
My last thing, just to wrap it up, is like I'm not like trying to be like super duper negative about it, but you know But if that's just kind of a thing that I noticed that like us as black people do, like we'll catch on to something, and then we won't know what the hell it is, and then we'll back it and back it and back it, and then you won't understand the additional.
So, but I would say you can make that argument about just Americans in general, like, because that's what we as black people get mad at, like white people, like, oh, you wearing we did like braids or dreads, or like we
have a whole thing about
like
that.
we did that when it came to Miley Cyrus, when she was when she had her like weird
fashion
her phase.
Yeah.
So it's one of I think everybody can feel that way, where it's like an appropriation of culture. So
we just need to be a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, I think as Americans,
let's do it better.
Like as Americans in general, like I can attest to that, because for the people who don't know, I'm in pharmacy school right now, and I go to UIC, and there's a lot of Asian people around me.
Yeah.
There's so much I've learned in the past 3 months ago. Like when people, like if someone says, "Oh, someone speaks Chinese," that's technically wrong. Yeah, people don't realize
I am of the person and of the population that comprehends that, and it's like, you're an asshole.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's an American problem, because if you told most Americans, like, speaking Chinese isn't a thing, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Of course,
like Mandarin, Cantonese, and other
exactly.
Chinese is not a language.
Puerto Rican, like Puerto Rico, they're like, "Oh, well, do you speak Puerto Rican?" Where it's like, well, Puerto Rico is the United States, and they speak Spanish.
Right. So it's I think it goes to the fact of like to your overarching point, where it was like, do you really know what this stands for? I think you can make that point about Americans in general. You know, so it's one thing. I think America has to do better in opening up to everybody around the world.
Since I'm black, I'm just gonna focus on black people. Let's do better. We always be better.
Yeah, that's really what I mean. It's like it's understood, but
I
like
learned a lesson today.
What you learn?
I've learned.
I
wasn't even thinking about the whole dashiki thing and all that stuff, and African. I mean, that's a real lesson. Like I can totally see why someone would be offended by that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I didn't even comprehend that. That's
wait,
real.
Dan, what was your comment on whether they can dress up or not?
I said yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up.
Anyway, but for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, please go see it.
Yeah,
Black Panther was amazing.
It was a great movie. All the characters are done well.
Killmonger. Best
Killmonger
villain.
is the best.
Solo
He
villain.
is the best
And if
Marvel
it's not
villain.
a good movie, if it's not a good movie, I'm gonna say it's not a good movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will bet money you will not say that.
I
wouldn't
saw during the All-Star weekend. I saw Michael B. Jordan. They had a clip, and it was the worst clip I've ever seen in my life.
What was he doing?
He was
At the art store?
Michael B. Jordan was about to fight. Oh boy, he took his shirt off. He
Yeah.
took his shirt off, had the little bumps on or whatever, and he was just going through like a little monologue of what he was about to do.
No,
I'm like,
no.
That looks terrible.
You need so much context to that monologue, though.
I'll give you this.
I'm
I'll
just
give
saying.
you
We gotta wrap
I'm
it
just
up,
saying,
man.
man.
we do got to wrap this, but I know Justin. I can warn you on a few things because I know exactly what
If
he'll
it's
like.
poor
and what he
acting,
won't.
I'm calling it out.
I know exactly. I know him.
Or physics.
Don't worry. No.
If it's
Don't
poor
worry.
physics, I'm calling it
Look,
out.
we're talking about the future, so it don't matter.
Right.
Well, I want to ask is now that this movie's out and everybody's have seen it, how excited are you, percent-wise, for the Avengers movie? Are you 100%? Are you
For what?
for
the
the
sequel?
Avengers movie?
Oh.
To be honest with you, the Avengers movies haven't been that exciting to me.
No, in May.
I'm not that
the
excited.
first one for.
I've never been a fan of them. They're
your
not heavy.
percentage.
They're not
What's
heavy
your
on
percentage?
plot.
What's your percentage?
Percentages,
My
real quick.
percentage on the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Infinity Wars, right?
Nah, 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Okay.
You want me to give you a harsh? I'm just gonna be
0 out of 10.
specific. Let's say 6.8
6.8. All right, what you
So-
got?
to
man?
7.2.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm really excited about this.
God damn it, Matt. An 8.8 or a 9.2? He said 9. Answer the question.
No, I'm not doing these.
No,
decimal
answer the question. It's
No,
an 8.8 or
I'm
a
not doing these.
9.2.
Are you-
Matt won't be here next week.
I swear to God. Dan,
I'll probably say I'm a 7.62.
I like that.
Damn, that's specific.
I like that. That's
It's
specific.
excited, but
I'm going
like,
for
maintain.
solid 10. I'm gonna go for a solid 10.
All right.
And I would say since we're playing in decimals, I'd say I'm a 9.1.
Thank you. Thank you.
9.1.
Thank you.
So I'm
Matt-
definitely.
Matt-
I'm.
Because he's gonna ask me like 3
I'm-
different times back and forth.
Matt, would you like to
I'm
amend your answer?
very excited for Infinity
No,
Wars.
it's
I
still
love these Marvel movies. My only issue is that as long as they don't keep like, there's kind of been, there's not a whole lot of, there hasn't been a lot of originality in some of these Marvel movies lately. That's another reason why Black Panther is good. It's an extremely original movie, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. The second one. Like it was the second one. I thought the second one was really funny, but it was really similar to the first one. And Thor Ragnarok was very similar to that. It's just like there's been like kind of like a Marvel theme where it's like you're doing too much to make me laugh instead of just being naturally funny.
We've officially broken into a new segment now.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up because we
No, 9.1 though. 9.1.
9.1. All right, and overarching thing, still go see Black Panther. It's probably a good.
No, it is.
All right. All right, guys. So that'll wrap it up for today. So we'll be getting back to you guys sometime next week. I don't know if everybody will be here again, but we'll be working on that. We'll have some additional content coming to you guys too. Go make sure to check out the Facebook page if you're trying to just listen. Well, if you already listened to it, but in the future you want to listen to it on the SoundCloud, you can. If you ain't got YouTube Red, we got everything popped up. Instagram, we keep you updated on stuff. So just be on the lookout for stuff. We appreciate you guys watching. Everybody, if this is your first time watching, welcome. If you've seen all the episodes, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to really look and see what it is. Take time to comment. If you disagree with something, comment on it. If you guys got any ideas for
Definitely suggestions.
feel free to make suggestions or anything. But like I said, I'll wrap it up, guys. We will see you next week.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment.
Those things.
And subscribe.
too.
Thank you. I said that shit the first time. You
To
said we're
these
not doing
nuts. Subscribe to these nuts.